Hey everybody, Solomon here. This is Life After Work. I apologize. I'm going to try to get this video out because I think this is something new for a lot of modelers that you've heard of, but you probably hadn't thought about. And hopefully this will be of some benefit to you. Now, for you modeling guys, you might get something useful out of this. I've been thinking for a long time about doing the bottoms of these ship models that have copper plating on them, or if you have the highly decorated Spanish Armada type ships or French ships like my Le Soleil Royal, it's got plenty of gold gilt and what have you. So I'd hate putting paint on this plastic that doesn't look convincing. I think I mentioned way early in my channel that I bought some copper leaf. There's the copper leaf. Now it looks real rugged. Don't worry, that's not the way it ends up. I was going to put copper leaf on the bottom of my USS Constitution and my HMS Victory, and I had gold leaf to put on all the decorative gold on the Le Soleil Royal. And I thought what I'd do, since I think I mentioned I'm rebuilding a dollhouse for a friend of mine, I was thinking that as a demonstration point for everyone, I would put copper leaf on the ceiling. Now I'll explain a little more of that in just a second. Okay, I have this embossed plastic that's embossed to look like the tin ceilings that they put on homes back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and in all kinds of buildings. I've seen them in bars and restaurants, old buildings for years. And I thought I would take this, and instead of painting it, I would put some copper leaf on it and make it a copper ceiling. And some more techniques to go with that. So I figured, well, I'll video it. I have long thought that modelers could easily adapt these techniques. I haven't done it myself in years. I would like to see some of you guys out there doing cars and trucks maybe use this technique on one of your vehicles and see how you like it. Here we go. I'm gonna see what I can do about gilding the lily, so to speak. Okay, a little addendum to this. You can buy this leafing material at your local hobby shops. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, a combination of Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and online. I found this online. This is a multi-pack, and it comes with a gold and a big stack of it, so you can do a pretty good sized project. It comes with a satiny silver looking color, and it comes with basically what is a bright silver or shiny chrome. Now, it'll never be, I don't believe, the kind of chrome you'd want on a bumper on a model car. But there are other uses I'm sure that modelers could find for it. In my case, I'm not going to use any of this right now on this dollhouse. Well, I might. I'm doing 2 rooms. The other room, I'm doing the kitchen first in copper, and it's got a pattern like this. It's kind of a big, bold pattern. And I've got a smaller pattern that I'm going to use in the bathroom. I've cut the ceiling already for the kitchen area, and the first thing I've got to do is to put an adhesive on it. Now, the whole point of gilding is that it's immediate. You don't wait till stuff dries. Even with the adhesive, you spray it on, you put the material on top of it, and you're done. As soon as you get it completely covered with that material, it's just a matter of sitting there and massaging it and rub it in with a piece of cloth or something. I have a couple of kinds of leafing adhesive. I have a metal leaf spray adhesive. Now, when I was doing leafing back in the early to mid 60s, 1960s, not 1860s, I managed to come up with a formula at the library. You know that old school internet called a public library? I found a book and it told me how to make an adhesive. It wasn't really an adhesive, it was just a sticky material, just like they used back in the ancient times, you know, for 2,000 years. I've lost that formula, can't remember what it is, but they now make these metal leaf adhesives. You can get it in a rattle can like this. This is one that they sell at Hobby Lobby. You can get it in bottles like this. You can take a fine brush and you can paint a thin line with it. You can write your signature with this adhesive and immediately lay some of this metal leaf material on top of it, and you've got your name metal leafed. This is how sign painters put those fancy gold signs on glass in storefronts years ago, and how custom car people, and you know, a lot of back in the day, custom car people put gold gilt on their custom cars. So they use this. There's also, you can get sealers, but I'm probably just going to use a rattle can sealer from Ace Hardware. So anyway, that's basically what's going to happen, and it's going to make a mess, so I'm going to have to relocate this. And after I relocate it and get the adhesive sprayed on it, we'll go through the process of putting this copper leaf on it. Okay, everyone, what you're seeing here now, and you won't see all of it, but the copper foil that I had out here was attacked by, guess who? Sonny. Linda let Sonny out. He came out here. This foil is so very fine that all he had to do was touch it, and reality is it's very much affected by static electricity, so he tore it apart. Well, you know what, let's just do a little experiment, because truthfully it shouldn't matter how messed up it is. It really shouldn't. So let me kind of let's just go ahead with this experiment. So let's just see. Now, first thing you have to understand is that if you have a brush with some static electricity, that's going to help. So let's take that to our advantage. Press it down. Let's not get too excited. Let's take some more. Press it down. And even though Sonny had just totally destroyed this, let's just kind of press some of this down into here. Now, it's not very pretty, I know. Come on, people. I know what pretty is. But you got to understand that everything that has glue on it, everything that has any kind of stickability, and let's look. I may just pick some up with my finger and bring them over here, but let's try to see what we get. Now, by the way, I'm working over here off the side. trying to get some of this fine film paper separated so that I can get to the copper. So here we go. I've peeled off another piece of copper. This one Sonny hasn't actually attacked, but let's get a little more static electricity on this brush. Picks it up pretty good. Now, you notice I'm not worrying too much about how much of it actually gets stuck on to the adhesive. I'm just pushing it down. And you know what? We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get to the end of this. And then we'll get another piece. You got to remember, these things are so incredibly thin, it doesn't really matter. Now, I didn't get a lot this time. I have to do a lot of vacuuming today, but I can get this. And I'm going to push this down into the adhesive. Yep. I may pull some of this off, because you can pull it off and put it over here, and we'll just we'll see what we can do. Now come on guys, tell me just how rugged does this look? Well, we're gonna clean it up. Right now though, I have to get a little more copper down. Hang on a minute. For reservations and information, that website is crownknox.com. Gotta do some vacuuming. Here we go. WDVX Clinton, streaming worldwide at WDVX.com. In Knoxville at 102.9. Seymour, Seven Islands at 93.9. It's Jamie Johnson. And I'm just going to brush this stuff over here where I think there's some adhesive. And I'll be honest with you, if there's not any, I can add it manually later. It's really not a big deal. Now, even though Sonny, bless his sweet little feline heart, believed in all his heart and soul that he could play with this, and we all know that he's going to end up having some copper coated, some real copper coated feline feces in his litter box. So we're doing this. We can do this several times. It doesn't matter. But we're going to see what the first time through, for someone who hadn't done it in 50 plus years, can produce. And you know, some of you guys, I have no doubt, will do much better. So we'll just take another brush. We'll do some polishing. Here we go. Now, you're going to see that I'm not getting real concerned about the coverage. I can get concerned. I can get I want a lot of really tight, really good stuff. Where you see some plastics still showing through. Check this out. This is copper. And we can do this on our model ships. And yeah, there's a whole lot of crumbs, bread crumbs, copper crumbs. And we can get all this really cleaned up. But the truth is, we took a bunch of junk copper, spread around by Sonny, and we did this. Now, I'm going to keep working just certain areas of this. Let's try this. I'm just going to keep working it with the brush. Now, it was kind of satin before. I'm going to keep working this really hard. Actually, I want to cut about half of this brush off. And I'm going to keep working this and working it. And what do we end up with up here? Now, I'm right now not showing you my expertise. I'm showing you what I did, God, 50 plus years ago. Look at this, we just turned this plastic into copper. I hope you can see that. I'm going to do some vacuuming. I'm going to get rid of some of this. The fact is, it really works. So, let's talk later. Okay, so what I've done, I've gone ahead and I've sprayed another layer of adhesive over the top of this. I didn't have to. I could have easily taken my brush and just touched up those spots that didn't have it. But what I'm doing now is I'm making sure I press every single bit of this leafing down into the texture, which is what, if this is a ship model and they've got the texture of the copper bars on the bottom of the ship, that you want to press it into that. And it all breaks off. It's really fine. And the only place it doesn't break off is where it is firmly, very securely sealed. And by the way, you will get a copper thumbnail if you let the glue hit it and then you let the leaf get on it. Yeah, it's going to happen. So let's now brush some of this. What I'm doing, I'm not just brushing in one direction. I'm going around and around, almost in a polishing type pattern, because that'll get it into all of this texture. And the truth is, when you get this done, it's done. It really is done. And here we are. We have styrene turned into a copper ceiling. And I'm going to put this in the dollhouse, and I think we're going to have a very happy little girl. So anyway, that's it for this demonstration, and I hope, boy, this copper's floating everywhere. I hope you understand, even the little bits put on, everywhere that there's adhesive, the leaf sticks. It doesn't leave a line. If you have a wrinkle, the wrinkle turns to dust. There is no line. So there you have it. That's going to be a copper ceiling for a little girl's dollhouse. And that's going to be the kitchen. So anyway, thank you. I hope some of you get something from this, and maybe, just maybe, this will show up in some other modeling community, because this is just the beginning of what can be done with it. I can still take my antiqued rub and buff, and I can buff around the edge of this. I can make this look very, very, very antique-y looking. So I'm just going to keep rubbing this, and trust me, every single wrinkle will dust off, because the wrinkle itself is not in the adhesive. And the only thing, truthfully, that is in the adhesive seems to be my thumb. So there we go. It's all done. I'll brush it off. I'll get my vacuum cleaner, get the rest of this up, and there you have it. That is copper leafing, and it's so incredibly thin it picks up all detail. I don't know how this would really work with other forms of modeling, but truthfully, I think it would work well. I'm going to take a little bit of paper towel. I'm going to buff it. And buffing it doesn't have to be hard. Boy, I tell you what, it picks up every bit of that detail. So here we go. This is the roof of the kitchen. We're off and running now. How does that work for you guys? Let me know down below. Comment. What do you think? I don't know if you think this will work for you or not. Like I said, I've got different types of leafing. Some of it could be for brushed steel, some can be for aluminum, some can be for a chrome that may not be the bright chrome you want. But what if you're actually doing chrome on an old vehicle? Put a little copper down on the bumper in a couple of spots with a brush. Put some chrome on top. Maybe it'll look like the chrome's wearing away. I don't know. Anyway, pretty simple stuff. And even Sonny couldn't mess it up. What do you think about that? Have a good one. Enjoyed you stopping by. Subscribe. Comment. And you know, you don't even have to subscribe. Just comment and let me know what you think. Because I think this is probably a pretty good thing. Have a good one. Bye.